It's Shaun Attwood here of National Geographic's Banged Up Abroad. I'm answering further questions on my YouTube video about prison strip searches. And the first question in part 3 is...
What did you find the most embarrassing part and why?
Definitely the most embarrassing part of the strip searches was the foreskin search. To have a big guy stood there, some redneck kind of characters in Arizona, you can imagine the type of guards, staring at your private parts with the foreskin pulled back. It was really embarrassing and humiliating. But I put myself in prison, so that was part of my punishment. I'm not trying to whine about this, I'm just answering questions, getting into further details for you guys out there.
So what was the etiquette if someone in your cell was being strip searched?
If someone in my cell was being strip searched, I would have to put my hands up and face a wall and have my hands up on the wall, and the guards would then strip search that person in the cell while I was facing that wall. And when I was then strip searched, my cellmate, he would have to put his hands up against the wall and face the wall while I was strip searched in the cell.
Did any of the guards ever keep themselves less than clean to make strip searches less pleasant?
I don't believe that any of the guards intentionally tried to make the situation less hygienic than it could have been. No.
And in relation to that, being strip searched in a group of guys who could not shower daily, was poor personal hygiene an issue?
Sometimes when you're locked down, in Arizona it's almost 50 degrees in the summer on a UK temperature scale, 120 something on American temperature scale. And if you've not got access to showers, you're sweating constantly and you start to smell like a wet dog, and you get all these bleeding and itching skin infections and bed sores as well because it's just so hot and sweaty up there. You sweat so much, the outer layers of your skin turn soggy, and when you get itchy you scratch yourself and clumps of your own skin detach under your nails. So you can imagine the condition you're in during these lockdowns when the guards come around and then strip search you. You absolutely reek. And I actually feel sorry for the guards who have to go around and strip search all these guys that have not had showers for days out in the desert, because I know for a fact they absolutely stink.
And did guys often plug cheek things in jail, to your knowledge?
Yes. Plugging, cheeking, it's actually called keistering in Arizona, and that means to store something in your anal cavity. If you've got contraband, drugs, syringes, cash, cell phones, and sometimes you're aware that the guards are going to come and do searches, sometimes the prisoners get tipped off, everything gets stored inside the human body. Or you could see these guards coming, the SWAT team type guards coming to your building to do like a mass shakedown on all the cells. Everybody just keisters all their contraband. So, it doesn't, people very rarely get caught with anything. The prisoners are really smart about being able to store their contraband. But the guards just go through the motions, the prisoners go through the motions. At the end of the day, everybody's getting high. There's more drugs in prison than anywhere on the face of the earth. And it's the hardest drugs. Most drug arrests in America are pot. These potheads come in, young people get terrified of the gangs and graduate to shooting up heroin and crystal meth. It's an absolute disaster for them and society.
Did you ever do so?
Did I ever store anything in my anal cavity? No. I was in the 10% of people, approximately, that weren't doing drugs, and I tried to turn my incarceration into the educational opportunity of a lifetime by going on this reading and writing program. But because I didn't do drugs, I was considered lame by the gang members, and that put me at more risk of getting attacked. If you're not in there doing drugs, it's much harder to get accepted.
Did you ever witness a strip search coming up with finding contraband in some unusual places?
Finding contraband in unusual places. Outside of the human body, prisoners would hide stuff in like library books if they knew the building was going to get shut down. In terms of the human body, I think every orifice on the human body was used to store things, and people's hair as well. People could store things in their hair if they had thicker hair in the ears. Shoes, people would store stuff in their shoes. The cuffs of their pants, they would store stuff in the cuffs of their pants at the bottom. So they were the other places I knew that prisoners hid their contraband. Thank you for all those questions. If anyone else has got any more questions on any of my YouTube videos, you can email me at, if you go to my website, shaun@attwood.com, it's got all my contact information there. Really appreciate your interest in all my videos. Thank you very much.